All right, here's day 5. Well, today I did do the meditation. I was a little tired when I got up, but I pushed through it and did it anyway. And now I feel a hell of a lot better. And basically during the meditation, you kind of envision yourself as being the future person that you want to become, like you are already it. So you sit there and visualize it and speak and see yourself as doing the things that you desire the most, being that person. For me, it's like impacting people and helping other people see that we have it inside of us. We just got to let it out. So for me, during the meditation and visualization, I see myself trying to inspire people, motivate people, get them to realize that they are capable of doing more. And you just got to do it with passion, with love, with all that excitement. And the more you kind of like visualize yourself being that person, the more you actually become that person. Because, like I've said in the past, your brain does not know the difference between what we visualize in our mind and what's in actual reality. Like, there was a study one time done where they put like the brain things on the person's head while they skied down the mountain, and they like recorded the activity in the brain, and they showed what areas lit up while they were doing it. Well, then they did the same thing, but they put somebody in a chair and put the things onto them, and they told them to visualize that they were skiing down a hill, and the same areas lit up in the parts of the brain that the actual skier did. And it's kind of crazy. And there was another study too, that there was just like with basketball free throws, where they had 3 different groups. They had one group who shot free throws every day for 30 days. They had a group that didn't shoot any free throws uh, for 30 days. And then they had a third group that only visualized themselves every day shooting free throws. They didn't actually do it. And the crazy part was, at the end of the day, when they went back to measure their improvement, the people that didn't shoot them but visualized it actually had the same amount of improvement as the people that actually shot the free throws. And in some cases, they were actually better than the people that shot the free throws. Obviously, the people that didn't do anything didn't really improve, but it just shows you that you can actually, that reality might not be everything that we've been told, that there's more to it. That the brain, when the brain sees something, when you imagine it enough and you feel it and you go with it, the brain will actually put an energy out to the universe and attract those things to you. But you have to do it first. See, we've been taught the wrong way. We're taught that we go out and make things happen. I'm not saying we can't. We can. I mean, obviously there are physical ways to do things in the 3D, but there's also ways to attract things to them, because you do the work, you do the visualizations, you do the feeling, you do all the stuff. And again, like I said before, with me, it's a process too. It's taken me time to get to this place. A lot of meditations, a lot of yoga, a lot of learning, a lot of never getting given up. I mean, there's been times where I've wanted to quit several times in my life, but I kept going. I might not have seen the results that day, but I kept seeing. I could see myself doing something like this. I didn't really know how, but that's why but just seeing myself do something like this, then little by little the things started coming to me. All of a sudden I started watching Tony Robbins videos, and then I started watching Dean videos, and I started watching Ella videos, and I just started watching all these spiritual business, um, manifestation videos, anything mental mind coach. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a good one. He does things on how to focus in the present moment and be in this moment, because we get so worried about the future and the past that when we're not, that our attention's either in the past or the future or in the past. But we got to have our attention here and focus on what we are doing right here in this moment, because everything, we don't have control of anything else. I don't have any control of what's going on outside this room I'm in right now. All I can control is myself in this moment, doing the yoga, the meditation, the light movements. And then I sit down and then I put myself in this state where I visualize myself doing this stuff, and now I'm actually sitting here doing it. So if I can do it, anybody can. It's just a process you have to keep going. And you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have setbacks. It's just part of life. It's just that we have to keep going forward. It's like I just watched a video by Ella Ringrose, and she was talking about how in her small town she was ridiculed by a bunch of people when she was starting out doing this stuff. And she said she took that negative energy and transmuted it into good, used it as I'll show them. So she took that, energy and pushed it out, like transmuted it inside ourselves. We can't let society tell us who we are. We can't let our parents, nothing against parents, peers, I'm just using an example. Some parents are, try to control people and all that stuff. But anyway, so you just got to be you. Not everybody's going to agree with what you got to do. No one, nothing's 100% in this world. Some people are going to like your content. Some people are going to like what you're doing. Some people aren't. But you got to do it anyway because you got to, if you put it out there and get that energy and that information out there, the people that are meant to see what you're doing will find you. But unless you sit here and say, oh, I don't know, everybody's not, and I used to do this, not everybody's going to like my content. What if this person doesn't like it? What if that person doesn't like it? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to think I'm crazy? Am I crazy? I had all these negative thoughts for years, wondering, and I was so afraid of those things that I let the fear dominate myself. And I had thought, well, maybe when I'm perfect, I'll do it. Well, maybe when I feel better, I'll do it. Well, never came. So I always hid back and stayed within myself and was so afraid of putting myself out there to be ridiculed, to be judged, to be ostracized or thought of crazy or weird or all that stuff. So I didn't do it. But then the one day I was watching these videos, kept watching these videos, and then Dean Graziosi said, if not now, when? And I was like, you're right. Why not take these courses? Why not? And I was scared. It was a lot of money. But you know what? When I did it and went through this course, I would have paid 10 times as much for it. The transformation I seen in myself that started the door cracking, and then he's like, sometimes you got to take that leap of faith and take that jump and see what happens and then adjust to it. And he, like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, take that leap and grow wings on the way down, adjust to it. So there's little tidbits everywhere that kind of just added a puzzle, put the puzzle together, and then I get that energy of, like my coach Anna. I was in that's where I was going. Like I got in these Tony Robbins groups, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere she was like, "Hey, I'll give you a free coaching session." So I went there, I did it, and then by the end she was like, "So do you want to work with me?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm nervous. I don't know if I have the money, but you know what? I'll do it." Because I was compelled to be like, yep, I'll do it. And I'll tell you what, sure, it's a little extra money to get coached, but I'll tell you what, it's worth every penny. Because every time we have a session, I learn something, or I see something that I didn't see before, or little by little, it just keeps building up and building up and building up and building up, and then you kind of go through it's like peeling the layers of an onion. You got so much stuff going on and all this stuff that you just peel layer by layer by layer, and then eventually you get to the center, or you get to the next layer, which could be even harder. So, and trust me, it's not an easy process, but I'll tell you what, it's a rewarding process no matter what. Because, and there's still, I still had doubts in the beginning, but I slowly but surely, got those doubts away. And, here I am doing these videos that I've always wanted to do for the past few years, but I was always scared to do. But you know what? You got to keep that momentum. And that's the thing, like momentum, even doing one little thing every day. We always, like I said before, we always think of we got to get to the top of the mountain like Superman and leap up there. And it's like, no, we just got to take the first step that's right in front of us in this present moment. And then take the next step that's in front of us in the next present moment. And then keep doing it. And like I said, I've had times where I've fallen down and I haven't done anything for months. There was while I was starting this channel, I went 2 or 3 months without even doing a video, and then I did a couple, and then sometimes I'll do one, and then I won't do one for 11 days. I think the before that's what it was, and then I'll do more, and I'll get that inspiration. Then I'll have weeks where I'm just not myself and I don't feel good. That's all right. It's part of life. Sometimes life gets you to that point, but then when you get to that point, then you're like, all right, and then something clicks, you hear the count of 9 and you're like, I ain't staying down, I'm getting back up. And then you get that energy, and then you just go and you learn the next thing. And there's always that thing, throughout my life, anytime I was close to a breakthrough, I always was like nervous, like, I don't know, man, I don't know. Should I go to this retreat? Should I pay for this class? Should I do this thing? And it's like, we have all those fears, but you know what? You got to do it anyway and see what happens. Because, like, I've heard a lot of people say on my journey here the last few years is everything you desire, everything that you are searching for is on the other side of the thing you fear most. So figure out what it is you fear and face it because you have to. Because by not facing it, it's an idea of what might or might not happen. Okay, well, what if that idea is wrong? I'm afraid people aren't going to like my content. Well, who cares? I mean, I would like people to. I hope this impacts people, and I think it will. But I can't control each person outside of myself, whether they're going to like my stuff or be impacted by it. That's up to them. I don't have control over that. The only thing I have control over is me and my work ethic, who I am, who I believe I am. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. A lot of the times people say stuff out of their own stuff, which is fine. Maybe it's not their time to be better or want to do the work. I mean, you got to want to do stuff. People have always said you can't help somebody that's not willing to help themselves. You have to be in a position or ready to make a change or just, want to learn. I mean, for me, I'm not alive if I'm not learning. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just me. I love to learn. I love to say, how can I be better? How can I adjust? How can I see when I am, I fail too. And like when I'm in a situation when I like ain't myself and I react in a way that I'm like, man, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. But we're humans. That's what we do. Sometimes we act out of emotions. But if I sit there and get down on myself for it, I say, hey, man, you know what? I'm sorry. I wasn't my best self in that moment. I reacted weird or I reacted out of anger or any of that. It happens. We're all human beings. But the best thing we can do is have the awareness to see that and then try to be better the next time that experience comes up, you know, and then just be me. That's why I do these videos. That's why I don't edit them, because I want to show that we're all human beings. Sometimes we see the people that are doing the things we want to do and that we think they're this perfect person, and they're not. No one is. We can have perfect moments. We can strive to be better. We can strive to be, better the next time. Like Kobe have 81 points in that game. He was close to being perfect. But but it's always striving to have those moments and putting in the work and seeing yourself and believing that you can have those moments because we're all human beings. If one person can do it, we all can do it. So this is my video to kind of motivate people into, give it everything you got. Don't be afraid. Take some calculated risks, and you know what? Just accept the fact that some people are gonna like you and some people you're not, and just be yourself anyway, and just do it.